everyone, I am back with the last installment of the bags and boxes for my mini cards. So this is going to be bag style number 2, and like I said, the last one for this little short mini series. Unless I come up with another bag or box idea later on, then I will make sure I come back and show it to you guys. But for now, so it's just 2 boxes and 2 bags. So let's get started. So you're going to need a piece of cardstock. I am using one of the 2016 through 2018 in colors from Stampin' Up. This is the Flirty Flamingo. And you're going to want it to measure 7 1/8 by 10 1/4. So on your 7 1/8 inch side, we're going to score just like we did with the first bag. The only difference between the 2 bags is this one is going to be closed. It's going to have a little flap that comes over the top versus the first bag was open, like a gift bag. So, yeah, it's basically the same kind of construction. It's just going to have an extra flap on it. So we're going to score the same. We're going to score it 1 1/4. And then 5 7/8. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 3/4, and 7. Okay, so there's all the score lines. Alright, now we're going to do some snipping. So your 2 score marks up here that are 1 1/4 inch side by side, that's going to be the top piece. So your larger panel down here is going to be your bottom piece that's going to flip up and be the front of your little bag. So we're going to start with this bottom piece here. And we're just going to tab the 2 little squares right here. So I'm going to flip it over so I can see my score marks better. So we're just going to cut straight in, and then we're going to taper that little piece right there. And we're going to do this on both sides. If I can grab it. That. Oops. A little bit more with that one. There we go. Okay, so then it should look like this. Now up here on our top side, we're going to cut all the way to the second score line. And then we're going to cut all the way over and just remove those 2 squares. We're going to do the same on this side. Just like that. So then you have something that looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to flip it back over, and now we're going to do some matting. And our mats, you're going to need 2 pieces for the back side and the front side, and those are going to be the same. So your mat will be 4 1/2 by 3 1/8, and then your designer paper, I'm using the coordinating DSP in the Flirty Flamingo. This is retired, so unfortunately you can't get the DSP, but the cardstocks are still available, so just in case. So your DSP is going to be 4 3/8 by 3, so there are the measurements for that right there. And we're not going to put the front piece on quite yet because we're going to do a magnet on this one also. So we're going to put our back panel up here. And I'm probably going to run out of tape in this video. My gun is super low. Alright, so we're going to get this centered on the back piece right here. Okay, so then we've got these two top pieces that are going to be the same. One is the top and one is the front flap. They measure the exact same, so you're going to cut your mat to 4.5 by 1 1/8, and then your designer paper at 4 3/8 by 1. So there are the measurements for that one, or those two. So you're going to cut 2 of those. We're going to go ahead and attach these. Yeah, I'm definitely going to run out of ATG tape. Okay, so there's that. And then our side pieces, because this bottom panel is going to be our front side, we need to do the side pieces on this particular panel. And your sides are going to measure 1 1/8 by 3 1/8, and your designer paper will be 1 by 3. So there are the measurements for that. And you'll cut 2 of those. So we're going to see how long we can go with this tape. So there's one. I think that's about it for that tape. I'm going to have to get my little tape runner, my smaller one. Grab that while I'm at it. Okay, so there we have our little side panels there. Okay, so it should look like this. Now we're going to put the box together. So we're going to flip this over and we're going to start our assembly process. Just go ahead and fold on all of those score marks. Alright. So we're going to take our little tabs here and we're going to glue those to the inside. Of our box this way. So I just bring this up and then just kind of rub that little just bring it around to the front like that. Okay, so there we have basically built the back of the bag. So the front piece is going to come up and wrap around the side just like it did with the other one. So go ahead and put that flat back. Put some of my Tombow on my little panels here. And you can use whatever glue you'd like. If you don't use liquid glue, you can use the red liner tape, you can use the score tape. You want something really strong. I think the fast fuse that Stampin' Up! Carries that we have would probably work really well. Also, it's a really strong adhesive. So ATG tape would work. It just, I don't know how long it'll last. You know, it's really strong when you're doing cards and stuff, or I use it in my mini albums and everything, but I use a lot of Tombow and score tape where I want things to stick permanently. So there you have the basic part of the bag, and it doesn't look like a bag yet, but it will. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on our magnet part. So here's our front panel. It's the same as the back panel, so there's the measurements for the front and the back panel again. So it would be the same. I have created my little decorative piece for my magnet. So I used a retired set called 4 Frames and just stamped this in the Flirty Flamingo. And then I used my decorative label punch and I punched out some Flirty Flamingo. And if you cut it diagonally, you can get it to mat the whole thing. So then I have another piece that I punched out. So we're going to put the magnet inside of here and then we're going to cover it up. So we're going to do this. Okay, so we can put the magnet about center to our little piece here. You can punch out like, you know, like a flower or a heart or whatever, you know, whatever coordinates with whatever you're doing for your, okay, so I'm gonna put this about like that on the back side. So now we're gonna go ahead and cover this up by adding our other decorative label piece. I'm going to use the Tombow for this because I definitely want it to stick closed. Okay, so I'm just going to set this down and then I'm going to kind of hold it up and make sure it's lined up. So it covers the back and makes it look a lot nicer since it's got a solid finish on the back instead of seeing the little crisscross cut lines there. I like to rub this really, really good to make sure that that glue is going to stick since there is a magnet in there. And it's kind of bulky in that one area. Okay, so then it just looks like this on the front, and then with our magnet inside, it looks like that on the back. I have to grab a Kleenex, hang on one sec. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this to our top panel here. So probably about like that for the adhesive. If you can see it, there's a glare. It's really bright in this one spot. But it's cloudy and kind of rainy, so it makes no sense. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of set that down and then take a look and make sure that it's pretty straight. Then we can just kind of hold this down for a few seconds. Let that adhere. Alright, so since our box is empty, we're going to need to put something inside of there to get the other magnet to stick. So I'm just going to grab, will this punch fit in there? I'm just going to grab one of my Stampin' Up! Punches and slide that in there. So when I close this, I have a surface to push down on for that magnet. So we're going to take the other magnet, attach it to that one. We're going to peel off the back. Sometimes these peel really easy, sometimes they don't. This one's kind of... Alright, so then you're just going to take your box here and go ahead and hold that down so it will, the adhesive on that magnet will stick. And then slowly pull that off. Okay, so you can leave the punch in there for now because we're going to go ahead and add our front panel. That's what it is. So I'm just using my little Elmer's tape runner here. I'm going to put a few on here because I don't use it very often, so I really don't know how strong it is. I mean, I've never had an issue with any of it coming off, but just in case. So then we're just going to center this right there. And that punch being in there gives you a nice surface to be able to press all that down. So we're going to go ahead and take it out. Alright, so there you've got, it looks just like a box, almost very similar to the box that I did the first round, but now we're going to add a handle to it. So the handle I created is 11 inches long, and I used my Martha Stewart doily punch. I just really thought that it would go well with the flower pattern that I chose for this little bag. And then I took a piece of white cardstock and I sandwiched it in between so it would be finished on the inside and the outside. So we're going to attach this little handle and that will make this a bag. But we're going to attach the handle to the inside because it's prettier. It doesn't look very good on the outside. So I have already poked holes. So I poked a hole on this side and on this side, and that's where I'm going to stick my brads. So like I said, this piece is 11 inches long. I just took the piece of cardstock and stuck it in the punch and just, you know, I centered it and then I punched, you know, moving it to each side, and then this is the length I got. And you don't want it too short for your handle because you want to be able to open up your box. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go about halfway with this full doily part here. So I'm going to go about halfway in to line it up like that, and then I'm going to make sure that my fingers are out of the way, and we're going to, I guess, well, okay. So on the outside, let's just do this first. On the outside, line it up on the outside. I forgot that I had already punched that hole in there. So I'm going to poke the hole. So just twisting and pushing my paper piercer through like that. Okay. So now on the inside, I'm just going to line up my holes and take my brad. Just using some little white brads. They're from Michael's. And we're going to push that through like that. And then there we have the first part of the handle. So do that on the other side. Let's go like halfway down on this one. And we'll go ahead and, so about like that. Take your paper piercer and just twist and push. Where's my other brad? So stick your brad right in here, and then you can attach your handle. Pull back your little prongs in the back, and there you've got your little handle, and your front flap will come up. So there we have our bag. And it fits. You could actually, no, you can't really move the handle all that much. If it was on the outside, if you attach it on the outside, you could kind of, you know, move it back and forth. I had, oh, here they are. Okay, so here are the envelopes. which are the same size envelopes for my mini cards. So there's the envelopes, and these are, I'm just going to tuck in these little card fronts that I did as thank yous. So these are using the Dapper Denim, the Emerald Envy, the Flirty Flamingo, the Peekaboo Peach, and the, what is this one? Sweet Sugar Plum. So those are the 2016 through 2018 in colors. And we're just going to drop those in there like so. And those have a little bit of dimension because they do have the dimensionals on them. So, but as you can see, they fit nicely. There's 10 of them. So these boxes and bags were all created to fit a set of 10 of my mini cards. So there's a side view, there's the back, the other side. So there you have it. There's a cute little bag. These make really, really great gifts, especially for teachers and coworkers and things like that. They're just really, really cute. You can do whatever decorations you want on it, but there's the basic on how to put the bag together. And I did want to show you guys the magnets that I purchased because I get a lot of questions on these magnets, and these are the ones that I get. They're from Basic Gray. They have 2 sizes. This is the small one, not the large one. And you get a set of 10. I did have someone leave me a tip in one of my videos. It was either in one of my videos or on Facebook, that if you go to like Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever your little hardware stores are, and find little washers that are about the same size as these, you can actually use all 20 of these magnets and purchase really inexpensive washers to be the other part to stick to. I have not done that yet, so this is, I've just been using the negative and positives that come in here. So you get basically a set of 10, even though there's 20, but you can make them into 20 if you get like a little, I don't know, I just thought I would share that little tip with you guys. I haven't tried it yet. If you guys have tried it, let me know if it works. And I would definitely check it out because saving money anywhere you can is a must when you're crafting. So just wanted to show you, these are the magnets, and I get them at the online store at scrapbookpal.com. I will put a link in the description for you guys of these magnets and where you can purchase them. So, like, you know, any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave it in the comments below. All the links will be in the description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!